today, Poro, it's not locked in just yet.
Everything seems like it's still on the table. It really does.
Games is a lot of games. It might not seem like much, but
it really, you think about it, and you're right. I mean, it's really not that much. Now, that being said, Gas Cans holding down that second place spot, still 20 points behind Sonic. So Sonic so far, despite having, a quote unquote bad day for Sonics, is this bend and not break?
I mean, the thing is, you got to take into account that there's a lot of pressure right now. We could say there is some element of the circle maybe throwing these games off kilter a little bit. I mean, we talked about Sonics being the team that is able to equip themselves best to counteract that RNG, but I mean, that shift coming back down to Quarry in Circle 2 in the previous game, like, no matter what you're splitting in Circle 1, if you're looking for Prio Circle 1, you're not in that Circle 2, like, in any scenario. So we could say that, Gas Cans are maybe capitalizing off that embracing chaos play style that we know they've been able to really put to work, and maybe, that equips them better to deal with this scenario than a team like Sonics.
Well, and, you look back to what the Gas Cans have been able to accomplish so far in this grand finals. So much of their success has been done with 2 or 3 players up. They're very accustomed to getting it. I mean, just as a byproduct of being one of these teams that fight so early and often, they're very accustomed to kind of losing one and just kind of resetting and still keeping as close to that same play style as they want to play when they only have 3.
Yeah, but Circle, this time around, I mean, if this ends anywhere near Circle 1 center, I would say it's a good opportunity for Sonics to bounce back from, I guess, a rough start. But you're right, Othar pretty far north, and whether that's a byproduct of the plane or not, struggling to get. I can see Reload stretching across Lumber right now. He's just landed in Lumber, so got to be careful not to lose anyone early on here, because they've able to close the gap between third and second, and it would be horrible to see some early game mishaps kind of ruin that opportunity for them.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much what happened to Sonics last game, right? First rotation they make, and they lose H-Win right off the bat. So that you got to imagine that impacted them at least somewhat, right? Yeah, I mean, they had that south side of Quarry position with great sight lines on all that stuff, and you got to imagine having 4 there would probably be better than 3.
I think they actually they lost the second player as they pulled up to that wizard tower just on the edge of Quarry. So again, if they could have kept 3 at that point, maybe we would have seen things play out a little differently for them. Again, I stand by what I said earlier. Sonics is one of those teams that you see them lose a player and they're still able to kind of maintain, and that's a huge attribute for any team to have. But again, you got to argue when you're down to 2, it becomes more and more difficult to maintain that level of mid-game pressure in terms of forcing teams into different spots, forcing teams away from certain spots. I mean, as I just said, if this one finishes anywhere near where the center of Circle 1 is, expect Sonics to capitalize on that. You can see they've already come up to Potato. They're already looking to take control of some ground here in the center of the circle, and some high ground as well. We've seen them fighting up here time and time again.
One of the good things that Sonics has become known for over time is, I mean, they were already 3 in vehicles and out of Pachinki at 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah.
That is just insane.
Which is early. That's even earlier than the early Sonics that we see anyway.
Now, of course, the plane did fly directly over Pachinki, so that adds a little bit to it, sure. But still, just the fact that they are able to get up to Potato, they do their scouting, they're already sending their 2 back down to ground, like the little compound on the very far eastern side of the Pachinki fields. This is kind of their normal 2-2 split, right, where they have 2 up top and 2 down low, and they're set for all the way through mid game here at 4 minutes and 30 seconds in. Yeah, so not too shabby. One Eye, meanwhile, still finishing up their looting all around shelter. Looks like Veritas has already finished their looting and left School Apps, and they've set up an air 2-2 just off to the east of Sonics. Meanwhile, ATC also sending. They were in kind of a weird 2-2 split because of that plane path. They sent 2 to North Georgia, and they had 2 loot up in Watertown. So we'll see if they can get back together. STK already doing a little bit of camping over there at Cube. This is something that they've known to do in the past, to see if they can snake a few kills off of ATC in rotation. We'll see if that plays out. Gas Cans, meanwhile, finishing up around military base there in no real hurry to get inside circle. No real concerns about any bridge camps coming through, so they take their time.
Once they get into the circle, they're going to pull up on somebody anyway, so they're not necessarily in any rush to get in and try and rotate. Fully expecting them to find themselves a couple of players or a team somewhere and opt for the pull up.
The full send is definitely strong with those ones.
I'm just noticing, we just quickly, we've got Masterlek on screen right now. Sharpshot's actually got himself into dangerous territory. We'll say that much. Halo's actually spotted him out. He's actually opening up now and getting some damage onto him. So, as you said, Poro, SDK looking for this trap once again.
It's paid off in a big way so many times in the past, and it'll pay off once again as STK will snab one off of ATC right off the bat. Sharp shot, not flushed out just yet, but he gets taken pretty low. And that is going to be, well, it looks like Norcus just going to go ahead and leave.
Yeah, absolutely snabbed.
Snabbed. Yeah, that's a word. I'm not sure what I was trying to say there. It definitely wasn't snabbed. I think I was trying to say nabbed or
snatched.
Snatched. No. I don't know. It's a combination of like 5 different words. So snabbed.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Easy done. Done and done.
I'll add that one into the vocabulary.
I was wondering if you were going to let me get away with that, but I should have known. I
haven't roasted you yet. We're in game 4 and I haven't roasted you yet. So
no, we've made it. I mean, we've had so much action in the early games. It's been hard to really get in there and let me know what you really think as we check in on hard shifts setting up. They do have T8 just to the south there, making some moves, but it looks like they're more interested in spotting out Shrimsy.
Yeah, maybe trying to snab a kill over at Barnes there. I'll snap some information.
You're about to snap these hands. Watch it. Okay, J-Sync looking over towards T8. Looks like they have left 2 inside the warehouses, sent 2 down to the cliff sides. Just to do a little scouting down the coast, see what happens. Gas Cans, meanwhile, has made it safely across the bridge on the east. You see Nikos doing a little scouting, make sure that Duel is left the premises. It looks like they have, for the time being, all up at farm. And once again, we're going to see a little bit of a, well, friendly. I don't want to say slow, but a little bit of a friendlier early game here. Only 1 lost in the process.
Yeah, but and again, just a weird scenario as well, to be honest. STK haven't sprung that trap in a while. We know towards the end of group stage, obviously when ATC were a little more concerned leaderboard-wise, they opted to avoid altogether. But it's just interesting to know the thought process behind when STK, decide to spring that trap, whether or not it's based on bad playing, bad circle, or knowing that ATC got into a particular position late on. It's still good. It's still good to see them kind of coming back there again, remaining the same in terms of strategy.
Well, unfortunately, they might be remaining the same as they have throughout the early game here, as they have come across the bridge and they are going to find themselves right in the midst of Illusion. But it looks like Illusion actually going to pull off and head it back to the compound. And look at this circle. Oath fans are smiling.
Yeah, and I talk about this every time we see a Milta Power hard shift. The migration here is so important because obviously there's going to be teams that try and center up on this, and we're looking at One Eye Open, Zenith, Oath, obviously Gas Cans, Duel, all have really good opportunity to do so. Everybody else, it's slim pickings. It's really slim pickings, especially when you think about just how much how many problems are caused by that lumber hill, because it sweeps in all three directions over to the west, south, and to the east. It makes so much of it unplayable in terms of getting a 4-man 2 there. You haven't got a building to hold it down. So this is always really interesting to see. And I mean, actually, initially, everybody opting to just go direct route as the crow flies into this next circle, other than SDK, fully expecting them to wrap round towards prison and make that play that we've seen them do so often on just standard Milta power circles.
Looks like that's just what they're going to do, and they may run into illusion once again if they're not capable here. Oath, meanwhile, have spotted out Zenith across the logging camp. Gonna take a few shots, not going to find anything yet, but Jazza and D-Treats are going to find Manhardy in rotation, so that's one down for One Eye as they summarily dismiss him from the lobby with vehicle, and Patron now going to go down to D-Treats as One Eye getting themselves a little bit too close here to Veritas over at the shelter. Down to just 2 here. Delta and Winlow. Looks like Winlow going to hop in the vehicle, try to reposition, but look at that. Fabled coming from the north as well. So One Eye putting themselves right in the middle of a Fabled Veritas sandwich. We'll see if they try to get out there with vehicle, or do you just send it down into the shelter and hope for the best at this point? They're not even going to get the chance. Delta goes down to Rip, or to Gregshot and Rip, and now, yep, Winlow just Tunnel Rats rule. We're the Tunnel Rats. We rule.
Yeah.
Damn. God, that would have been so
great form. Great form for game 4.
Chad knows where I was going with that one. That's fine.
As long as they know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Sonic's going to find one from ATC over on Death Road. Looks like Norcus maybe stuck out a little bit too far from the ATC scouting. He's going to run right into Tiggleton. Looks like ATC will go ahead and reposition a little bit further down the road. Sonics, meanwhile, will hold their spot for the time being as we see where everybody is kind of ending up. We still have one team way down on Military Island, hard shifts.
It's hard shifts, right? Yeah.
Yeah, doing the long rotation through Millie. They should be able to get up to mainland pretty easily. I think T8 about the only thing they really need to worry about. Gascan's doing a wide split, a little 2-1-1 all across the western edge of Milta here. Meanwhile, Veritas going to trade a few back and forth with Fabled, but other than that, nothing, no overcommitting just yet.
Now, again, there is an element with shifts like this. Teams do tend to be a bit more cautious, I guess, after that initial mad dash in terms of rotations died down. Let's see where Circle 3 is going to pull towards. Well, it wouldn't be a game 4 without an absolute fiesta, right?
It would not, and wouldn't you know?
The scary thing here, though, Poro, is that gas cans are going to pretty much be able to center up on this.
And they can do whatever they want. They have with that 2-1-1 that they were holding, they had so much control over this western side of Milta.
So many options.
They immediately have whatever option they want. They're already in vehicles, already taking it. Now they got to get there quickly because you can see Oath, Rumblers, Sonics, Veritas, everybody starting to make their way down there. And you can see the shots already coming out here as Veritas is going to crash down onto Farm. They're going to find Dodge already in there. Sonics is going to send it right down the middle of the damn road into Milta. And somehow they're getting away with this right now. Nope. Oldless will find one. But H1 will find Oldless as we have just madness going on right now as the western Milta transitions play out.
Yeah, that's see, H1 and Mine both fall in there. So the back and forth does continue. Elsewhere, as we see STK now on top of Illusion. Halo, is he going to be able to find this kill onto Top Dog here through the UAZ? Does actually get the tag through there. Halo down to 4 HP though. Top Dog definitely made him work for it.
Fable here, the big problem though, they got a full wrap on all of this right now. You see Light Show is uphill, but he's getting chased away by Gregshot and Hella. And now Luke 12 actually going to take a few shots over in that direction here as well. Halo will flush out Woe here shortly. That'll be a couple more points in the bag for SDK, but again, down to 2 players off of some crazy shifts, but at least this time they're picking up kills, they're picking up points where they can, and it looks like they should survive for the time being because Fable is going to leave off of this.
Yeah, they should indeed. Situation in Milton becoming a little more tense. A couple of teams sharing the north side of Milton there. Not expecting too many crazy pushes out at this point. Show actually going to show his hand. He's going to find great shot, but no awareness of Hella coming around the backside, and I mean, he traded out before the flush could even come in.
That's a good effort by Show. Nice try, but will go down, and that will do it for Illusion. Meanwhile, our other teams with a solo player, One Eye, Winlow is going to sneak his way into the farm area in the northwest, so he'll stay alive for a little bit longer. SDK, meanwhile, Luke 12 has managed to find a spot. Looks like Alo should be coming to join him soon. Meanwhile, Nikos and the gas cans posted up by that gate over there, just to the north of Milta. You can see finding downs. Didn't find the flush, though. New circle will pop, and it is going to go right on top of all of this. We see Rumblers pretty much dead center.
Yep. And again, guys, fully expecting that one off based on the phase 4 shift with the water. But again, there was a little bit of variance allowed, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit.
But lots of teams already anticipating this. So not expecting too much madness in the center. But obviously those teams out to the west side have got to make moves to get in here.
Looks like Honey Badger doing a little bit of repositioning here, while ATC is just off to the north. You can see them trying to make a mad dash in, and it looks like they will find a spot, at least for the time being. Actually, Cherry going to get the down on a Marcelic, so we'll see if they can maybe get that res off while they're just getting shot from the backside here. But nope, Cherry going to find a Gila too, and that's going to do it for Duel, or for ATC rather, as Duel picks up a couple of points now. Comet's also making a long rotation on the south side. Winlow, the last solo player remaining, will try to make it through. Lampalot going to land some sick, nasty AK shots from range.
Was that Lamb's AK tag?
I think that was. I'm pretty sure that was the only person I saw shooting at him. But Cherry, once again, going to find a meal just delivered to him. DoorDash and Winlow right to his face. As Comet's still trying to make their way in. And Yaxley's going to go down to Steezy. The flush will come through as well. But Steezy will go down to hardships. Maluk. Monty now trying to find a place anywhere, somewhere to set up this stupid car so he can live just a little bit longer. Looks like he will manage to break line of sight here and join the rest of the boys coming into Milta from the south side, from the beach side. As we take a look, everybody just trying to find somewhere to play inside of this. T8 still needs to make their way in. Dodge still needs to make their way in as well.
They do indeed. A lot of team really, I guess, stuck outside Milton, and that's the problem in a circle like this. Is, I mean, where do you go? It's really left too late for anybody now to send it into Milton. You gotta assume it's going to be congested and teams kind of forced into the edge. But Dodge and Veritas still over, are happy to kind of coexist on farm for the time being.
Ooh, Zealot actually getting it down on Michael from long way away might relieve a little bit of the pressure for Dodge right now, at least for the time being. Let's see. I mean, the position Dodge is in, not fantastic, but they're able to make it work for right now. Well, look at Lush with the SLR going to find D-Treats, as D-Treats and Michael are slowly bleeding out. Looks like Michael should get rezzed here. The smoke cloud's going to stay alive for right now, but Veritas under a whole mess of pressure as we wait and see where this circle collapses, where the next one's going to take us. There are 45 people alive in this thing, and it is just, oh my god, I don't even know what to say. Hypog, this is going to be wild next circle.
Yeah, and I mean, the problem comes from now if this circle cuts out Milta, because we know how often that is the case, especially when me and you are casting Poro. But how often it becomes the case where, you know, you've got to this point now, you've sent it in with a vehicle, you lose those tires, you then can't get out of Milta, and well, it cuts a lot of it out. There's not an awful lot of space for Comets and Hardships to just kind of slip in on the north side of the road there, because you've got Zenith, Oath, and the remaining Sonics players.
Rough sledding here through Milta, but when you crash Milta, you kind of expect this, right? J-Sank on fire right now. Going to find T8 Zealot and get the flush, as well as now William and Lush are the only two left remaining. Looks like they're hanging out on this hillside just waiting for Veritas to show their faces so they could try to get some kind of points off of this, because I got to tell you, for Dodge, Veritas, T8, it's not looking great for them to get into this next circle. And for Lush and William especially, I don't think they have a vehicle over there or anything. So they're just trying to get whatever points they can.
No, one thing I'm going to keep my eye on for the time being is whether or not Oath opt to try and regroup from this 2-2 split that they're still holding on to into Circle 5. I mean, Pat Caps and Bale obviously dead center uphill. The two members of Oath still on the north side of Milter, as I said previously. Whether or not they've got the opportunity to even try and regroup here. But you can see actually Veritas taking a lot of damage. T8 still looking to pressure them here. Lush actually going to get picked out. Jazza landing the shots with the SKS stat. But Wimu actually going to trade that back with a headshot. Jazza will fall 2 down from Veritas right now. And Tactical 8 will actually end up going out to the blue with 1 credit going over to Jazza. But these reses aren't possible. And Dodge going to be aware of where this has gone down. So expect them to try and clean up.
And here they come. The throwables are coming out from Veritas. Already 2 will bleed out to the blue. Michael going to go down now to Adam. It's all down to D-Treats. We'll see if he can do any damage here on the Dodge before they eventually take him out. And no, he cannot. Dodge cleaning that up with efficiency, although they now still have to find their way inside circle here. Gas Cans doing a little bit of sniffing over here on the edge. Honey Badger, you can see on that ridge line, would love to try to come up over the top in here and see if he can find something.
Well, they should be able to.
Yeah, there he is. He's going to open up. He's going to find one. He gets Danny G, gets the knock, and he's not even going to bother to flush it. He knows
goes
he's
out for
dead.
the blue. Yeah,
he's done. The rest of Dodge, looks like Finn is going to stay around there for a little bit of moral support, but he's going to go down to Cherry. The rest of the boys have hopped in a vehicle and made their way inside circle. Adam and Lampalot will try to make do from this point forward.
The problem being where they've pulled up, I think once Gas Cans get a beat on where they've repositioned to, they're going to be able to pressure that spot very well from these 2 houses at the roadside just next to Milter checkpoint. And again, Gas Cans got a good opportunity to cross the road as well. This is usually one of the easier spots to fend away from once the circle pulls away from Milter, but maybe not when it's that far northwest.
Yeah, that's rough. Rumblers have a beat on him. Duel have a beat on him. Dodge has a beat on him. His Honey Badger will go down to Adam from range. And now look at the hard shifts are now making their way along the roadside as well. So this could be bad news for Gas Cans here, as everybody just kind of collapsing onto the position that they're in. They do get the res on a Honey Badger. We'll see if Voxa can maybe do something. Maluk's already got the grenade primed and ready to go, though. It's going to land right on top of him. Doesn't get the down, though, as Voxic goes prone. Takes that reduced amount of damage. Chubba is over here, but has not opened up just yet. And now Gas Cans managed to get all 3 up on the wall, and none of the throwables for hard shifts are finding their home right now.
No, it's not. I'm not sure how they've managed to keep 3 after the initial knock coming out from Dodge, but well, no, we're going to see. Actually, Nico's going to open up onto Chubba here. We'll get the flush as well. So upper hand initially does go to the Gas Cans and reduces the number to a 3v3. Honey Badger's going to try and put a flash through, but it just catches on the window ledge. Sonics elsewhere will fall in 11th place. Now, anything the Gas Cans can put on the board is a bonus. Keep talking about that gap between second and first. This is where you want to see Gas Cans try and capitalize.
They're in a rough spot right now, but they are landing the shots onto hard shifts. They got to be careful not to shoot their own teammates here as they keep peeking the same exact angles.
Maluk's going to pounce.
Maluk's right on top of him. The grenade will come from J-Sank, and that's going to find one. It's going to knock Badger down to no health. Maluk will come around at the perfect time. He will get the down and the flush. Voxic's still alive, though. He's going to try to find something. He's going to find Maluk. He'll get the flush as well. That's another point in the bag. But now Voxic has to do something with the blue right on his back. Can he stay alive a little bit longer? Hardships repositioning. They're just waiting for Voxic to show his head. J-Sank will do the honors. Actually, no. It's going to be Penta from Duel from way downtown. We'll finish him off. And that does it for Gas Cans, going out in 8th place with about 4 or 5 kills, I believe, at the end there.
Yep, so now again leaves an opportunity now with Gas Cans falling. Oath to try and close that gap a little bit. They've still got 2 up. They still have control of that compound. Luke 12 sends some shots towards later. Again, just a matter of time here. Expecting Luke 12 to wait this one out. Make sure he puts this kill on the board before moving off elsewhere. Whether or not Oath are going to get it, actually, I can see on the minimap a lot of pressure coming down from there. It's actually Bale going to pick up later, so another kill point over to Oath. J-Sang taking a headshot there down to 2 HP. That vehicle not good for another rotation. Again, it's Penta from distance. Going to find that one. Hardshifts will go out in 6th place. So, down to Oath, Jewel, SDK, Rumblers, and Fabled here. Fabled kept quiet up on the north side, but they're still 4 strong. 4 kills on the board as well. Let's see what they can do here in the late game.
Fabled looking good. Duel, 6 kills, looking good. And despite the fact that Oath is down to just 2 players after they had that 2-2 split for a long time, they have 5 kills on the board as well. So if they can manage to pick a few more off of this, maybe play this compound, maybe find themselves in a top 2 or 3 position here, they could actually do a little bit more climbing, get themselves right back into the mix here as we check in with Duel. A lot of room for them to work with, and I think they've got a pretty good idea about where Fabled is coming from. So Fabled is going to have to figure out how they want to get into this next circle. The only one without a compound.
Yeah, they
what
are.
They going to do?
Send it straight down towards Cherry and Wooly in the Wizard Tower. They're going to get up. The pre-nades come out. No damage on it, though, but all 3 going down. Very low HP. Rip, Haxetti, and Greg all fall in quick succession. Lost HD finding it in, and actually the last nade comes out from Wooly, and Fabled fall in 5th place down to the top 4 now. 2 teams still 4 strong. Oath has a duo. SDK just Luke 12 standing now. So lots on the board here. Some points to pick up in the end game here, and some teams that need them really if they want to make a final push.
Absolutely. Worth noting that during that crash, Oath was able to snab one away, if you were.
Snapped.
From Duel and from Rumblers. So they managed to get themselves up to 6 kills now, but Duel running the board right now. 8 kills in the bag. Rumblers still have 4 up. They've got 5 kills. And Luke 12 always a dangerous threat, even when he's a solo, as he just continues to circle around the outside, the edges of this circle like a shark, waiting for somebody to reveal themselves. So maybe he can collect at least another point here for SDK. They've got 4 already, and they've managed to now make it into the top 4. Everything going to be quiet for now, I imagine, until that next circle pops.
Yeah, again, not really an opportunity for anyone to really make a play until we know where we're ending up. Phase 8 posting, so we know exactly where this game ends. Balefrost still aware of the possibility of somebody being down to the east. Not sure if he's actually caught a sightline or any damage was traded back and forth off screen anywhere, but again, you can see they're kind of waiting it out. Pat Cap's looking into the circle. Rumbler's got to make moves here. Obviously, Jewel and Oath still in the circle. Expect Rumblers to make a mad dash for something, but there's not an awful lot of anything to play for, to be honest with you.
It really isn't.
It's going to be a clown car.
Yeah, they're going to pile 3 in.
Open top UAZ.
Oh my goodness. They're going to leave Los on the roof to try to do a little defense here and at least try to keep him honest, keep him from peeking too hard. And it actually is going to pay off as Rumblers managed to get at least to a little bit of a ridge line here on the edge. They put the smokes down. They've got a circle. Cherry, though, will find Waldo before the smokes bloom. And Balefrost will actually find Luke. So that's another kill going into the pocket of Oath. SDK, meanwhile, now out. Looks like McCoy should be able to get the res onto Waldo, and he does. Los, meanwhile, did get picked off.
Yeah, and that's the risk, you know, when you just kind of leave one person to play anchor. You know, you got to assume that they're going to get picked off. Timing not great for him to cross in the open away from the compound as well, but again, it's a necessary casualty in the scenario.
Absolutely. I mean, him being there on the roof allowed them to make it to where they are now. If they would have been able to get him, that would have just been icing on the cake. Meanwhile, looks like we'll see Duel trying to find lines onto this. Rumblers just lying prone for the time being. McCoy going to take a few shots from over in Oath's direction. And we are down to our final circle, and nobody is favored on this one. You got to think, out of everybody, maybe Duel, maybe Oath, if they can work these trees and a couple of tasty rocks in there, could be okay. But you also got to worry about Rumblers. What can they get done? We see Duel already on the move, and Bale going to open it up with a nice shot onto Wooly. And Rumbler's actually going to use this opportunity.
Yeah.
They're just going to crash hard into duel. The flashbangs are coming out.
Perfect.
Good flashbangs. Going to find Pentalol is down. Lynxy is very, very low. The throwable's still coming out. Lynxy goes down. The res comes up onto Wooly. He'll stay alive, but that was Penta's grenade. He had it primed and ready to throw, but he got knocked right as it went down. Wooly and Cherry still alive, but they are on the very edge of the circle as Rumblers are just cruising right now, trying to see if they can work the ridge line for at least a little bit. Oath, meanwhile, Pat is going to use this opportunity to get a little bit closer. Now, Rumblers maybe turning their attention over towards Oath. Cherry has gone down. Wooly has gone down. Pat will find McCoy and Oath. This could be huge. This could be a huge win for them as a duo. They managed to get McCoy down. It's a 2v2 Waldo and Gaxi. I don't know how much smoke they have left, if they have any throwables, but right now, Balefrost, Patcap working the edge of the smoke like pros as Gaxi looks like he might be working around McCoy. Looked like he might have been considering a res, but not going to go for it. Balefrost will drop down prone, get the heal off, get back up to where he needs to be. Gaxi needs to watch out for that blue, though. It's slowly pushing him away from that ridge line that he wants to play. Waldo, meanwhile, is just going to go prone while the smokes bloom around him.
Yeah, I mean, time is not in Rumba's favor right now. They need to be the ones to go for something here. The molly onto the rock is perfect. Patcap's going to take a lot of damage. Waldo going to find Balefrost. Patcap's down to about 30 HP, and there you go. Gaxi going to close that one out. Rumblers, 9 kills and a chicken dinner, but damn, did Oath make him work for it. That was